Oh, cool. How many are not from Colorado?
Rise of the humans.
Have fun. Creativity, strategic thinking, problem solving.
Thanks everyone for sticking around today. I know it's the very end of the Mile High Dream In, and appreciate you coming to this session. I'm really excited to share with you some of the work we've been doing. I've been really interested especially in some of the AI stuff that's been coming out. I was especially fascinated that it's not necessarily how to replace jobs, but how to make things better. And that's really what we're trying to do at Catalyst with helping cities revolutionize their services with Salesforce. And thank you for all our sponsors. I've definitely spent a lot of time talking to some of them and see some benefits, especially we're really breaking out into Canada, and Canada is a little more friendly than we are with refugees, and the language I/O is really fascinating to me, to really, thinking about how to translate for people who are coming from countries and needing city services. So my name is Janet. I've been in the Salesforce ecosystem for just over 10 years. Most of that has been working with public sector from a consulting perspective, worked a lot with the state of Colorado, also did the original implementation for the Denver 311 contact center with my previous company. And I, like a lot of people in the Salesforce ecosystem, come from a different background. I'm actually a professional violinist. I taught Suzuki violin lessons. I played with orchestras, traveled through Europe, and have actually managed to keep up with music. That's one thing I love about Salesforce, is just the culture of work is not your entire life. You can pursue other things. And this May, I played in a piano quintet, which my husband found out is not 5 pianos. It's 2 violins, viola, cello, and piano, and played at Carnegie Hall with a group called After Arts. It's a group of people who have backgrounds in music and chose other careers other than music, or ended up in careers other than music. So it's really been a great life for me to be able to do both. So what we're going to cover today is the 101 on 311, why Catalyst has been paired with Salesforce especially, with public sector and 311 contact centers. We're going to showcase my client, Town of Oakville. They're based in near Toronto. And then I'll actually do a demo and show you how we're using standard Salesforce with kind of one component to put everything together for the contact center and really make that work for the cities overall. So have you ever wondered, can I claim my dog as a dependent on my taxes? Is my boyfriend married? When does Santa land in Denver? And can I file a noise complaint about my refrigerator? These are all calls that came into the New York City contact center, the 311 contact center. Not everything is serviceable, so contact agents, the CSRs have to be able to weed them out. But overall, you just need to be able to go with it. And this came out, New York published their top hits from the last 20 years. They celebrated their 20-year anniversary for the contact center this year. And these were some of the top hits that came in to their call center. 311 is non-emergency municipal services. If you have a question for your city government, for your county, you call 311. It's not available in every city, but it's really coming across all the U.S. We've worked with Denver, Chicago, Akron here. Their slogan when they entered it was, burning building, you call 911. Burning question, you call 311. And the main goal was to divert calls from 911 and be able to work with citizens on a one-on-one basis and have an easy way to do that, similar to when you need an emergency. Some of the common requests are abandoned vehicles, noise complaints, graffiti, illegal parking, potholes, animal complaints. But really it matters what the agencies are paired with the contact center. So everyone is a little bit different. Sometimes there's human services, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's building permits, and sometimes there's animal control. So the contact center just partners with the different agencies throughout the city. One of the main drivers is resident experience. What do residents need? How can they get the most information from a city? They're looking for a modern service experience. They want to be able to connect with the city or your county, whatever is most convenient for you. Chat, text, email, phone call, web, doing a lot of case deflection with Experience Cloud or public websites, trying just to get information out. They need transparency and accountability. When is something going to be done? Like, when is this graffiti going to be done? When is this pothole going to be fixed? The street lights out. It's a hazard. So you need a way to funnel all the requests to the right people and be able to know when that's going to be fixed from the resident perspective. Also need to be able to conveniently submit requests. I want to report it, and I don't want to have to start over. I don't want to have somebody to call me back a week later and say, hey, I saw you called. Can we start all over again and have you enter this information all over again? So it's just, people are busy. We need to be able to put in our information and have it flow through to the correct agency and have the information so that they can immediately triage. Which takes us next to what the city needs is, most importantly, complete and accurate information. One of the key questions for some towns for graffiti is, how tall is it? The city has, is it on a second floor building at the top? Because they have one truck that can reach to the second floor. So if you send a team out there, they didn't know it was on the second floor, they can't fix it. They have to go back and wait for the team with the right information or with the right tools to come back and service that. So it's really critical to ask the right questions. Your CSRs are the people who can talk to the customers, get the right information, pass it down so that the agency can then triage or have more specific follow-up questions. Having standard business processes so that we have more ability to get things done right the first time. And then visibility into the requests. Mayors and city councils are paying attention as well. They want to see how quickly things are done. Are their residents getting served? Are there trends happening? Is there graffiti happening at a certain area at a certain time that we can start monitoring what's going on in the city? Why is this important? Well, it took the city of Toronto a missed service level or a missed request and a viral hashtag #DeadRaccoonTO. This was back in 2015. Someone reported it, a dead raccoon on the street, and nobody came to pick it up. So passersby started to have fun. It's been memorialized, pictures, it just grew and grew, and then the dead raccoon was gone suddenly, and there was a memorial left for days. People today, 8 years later, still remember this. So why Catalyst? Catalyst has over 30 years of experience in public sector. We're a 3-time award winner, Partner Innovation Award winner for public sector, 2 of which were 311 contact centers, Toronto's At Your Service and Shy 311 for Chicago. And those were just in the last few years. We have government technology experts familiar with multiple platforms, including Salesforce, and we've done custom mobile apps before Experience Cloud was more easily turned into a mobile app. And we have a team of custom developers, so we can really choose the best from Salesforce and then fill in, integrate to other more specific city systems so that everything is in the right place for the right people. We really get to know our customers personally and understand their business and their needs. One of the biggest complaints I hear from our customers is, I don't have time. I don't want to be entering stuff in Salesforce because it takes time. Everybody, especially city workers, are overworked. So the key is, how can we make Salesforce efficient? How can we make the information that we're sending them valuable so that they can do their job and provide the information back to the city. But most importantly, we're building software for people like us. We're headquartered in Chicago, and we did Chicago 311. We have people in Toronto who worked on Toronto. So we're building it for the way we want to see our cities run. Service Cloud gets us 90% of the way there. We have the Service Console, CTI integration, omni-channel, mobile, chatter, case management, custom actions, case teams, entitlements, and tasks. All of this has been critical in building that foundation for cities to really get their work and do it correctly. We have limited customizations. We have one Lightning Web component for the case intake page that's data-driven on what we call case types or request types and guiding questions. These are the questions to help the CSRs really focus and get the information that they need from the customer who's calling in. We have an integration to Esri so that we can get specific location information, make sure that an address is valid, get the XY coordinates, and also pull in asset information. So if it's a stoplight that's out, then we make sure we have the asset. They can select the exact stoplight, so whoever goes there can be most efficient and know exactly what to fix and what type they need, the tools they need for the right asset. Then we also integrate to the specialized software, CityWorks, Chameleon for animal control and shelters, and licensing software. Cities don't just do contact centers, though. That's not just Service Cloud. They take a request from a customer and they send it downstream. So if you have a question about applying for child care subsidies, they'll send it to Human Services and you'll get call back from them. And Human Services has their own stuff. So Health Cloud's the perfect solution for that. Public sector solutions, Experience Cloud, field service for all these technicians who are in the field. Marketing Cloud, Tableau, Einstein, CRM Analytics for all the beggars and counselors who are really trying to track, as well as just contact center and people, the agency heads, so that they can start to think and send their technicians where they need to go. If you know a snowstorm's coming, here are the 5 areas that tend to get hit the most and the most requests. Here's the stoplight that goes out the most frequently. So you can just start to be prepared and really try to get ahead of the issues before they hit you. So Oakville is a town in southwest of Toronto. This is a customer I've been working with since the beginning of this year. Population of 214,000 and Ontario's largest town. They've been an incredible customer. A few weeks ago, out of nowhere, our project sponsor said, I want this to be an award-winning project. I want this to be a showcase for Catalyst. I said, great, I'm presenting at Mile High Dreaming next month. I'm gonna use you as my example. I said, great. So it was good timing. Some of their project goals, they've already had Salesforce. They implemented in 2015, 2014, just at the end of Classic, before Lightning came out. So we're upgrading them. Some of their main goals were to communicate with the citizens so that they're educating the citizens whenever they call in. They wanted to take away the simple requests from the CSRs by putting things on the internet in knowledge articles, other forms of information, so that their CSRs can be focused on the more challenging issues, not having to answer, what time does the rec center open? So in the demo, I'm going to walk you through our main case intake page from a phone agent's perspective. We're going to greet the resident, hear the concern, select the case type, have questions to guide the CSR to get the right information, be able to search knowledge, and then submit a case. And from the case management, it's assigned to the correct queue immediately, and service level agreements or entitlements are assigned to the case. So this is our service console. This is going to be the main place that the CSRs are working. You can see we have omni-channel set up, so we can integrate to CTI, email to case, Experience Cloud and have agents be able to get those cases immediately. But in this instance, we're going to pretend that a phone call is coming in. It is going to be connected to CTI. But as you can see, as I'm typing the phone number, which would be automatically populated with CTI, the contact appears. I can select the contact, and I can see he has two cases, one case open, complaining about bees in a nearby tree. With a town like Oakville, trees are going to be important. They actually have a goal by 2027, I believe, which is their 150th anniversary, to have 40% urban canopy. So they're really making an effort to put trees in and take care of them. So the first thing, phone agent answers the phone, says, "Hi, my name's Janet. How can I help you today?" And caller immediately starts talking. "Yeah, there's this tree, there's a big windstorm last night, and the tree branch fell, it's on the sidewalk, it's forcing people out into a main road." As an agent, I need a place to start taking notes. It's amazing. Contact centers today, they're have notepads open on their computer, they're taking notes on a notepad, on paper. Why does nobody have notes available for them? So immediately can start taking notes. And we have our case types. We have the most common case types. We are in UAT, so our case types are a little bit off right now. They'll start to make sense for their own most used cases. So I can type in just a keyword, branch, and it limits my options, get a description. Go ahead, fall in our hanging branch of a municipal tree. It's located on a boulevard. It is causing a safety issue. It's blocking the sidewalk. It's lying on the sidewalk. This was a specific request for them. And then this is a little bit more information that I get from the caller. And then the Esri integration. So you notice this contact has a street address, so I can click this box here, and it jumps me over to that location. I'll just zoom out so you can, oopsies. Try that one more time. So you can see the bigger picture. They have a preference for really starting close in, and then the different layers. So all these layers are being pulled in dynamically based on what type we selected. So we see relevant asset layers based on the type we entered about trees. So I'm going to click on town trees, and I can select a specific tree. If I hover over it, I can see the tree ID as well as what type of tree it is. So select this one, and I'm done. I hit submit, and at this point, I have a summary page. So one of the other common requests is that they're just trying to get the caller off the call as quickly as possible. We don't, as a customer, we want to get off as soon as possible. So they have the option to pause, make some edits, make sure their notes are correct before submitting it. So now I can go ahead and click complete, and I am on to my next phone call. Phone rings. And it's Austin Myers. And the reason we have so much data in here is because they use this as a single sign-on for other applications. So people are already using Salesforce through the Experience Cloud to log into Parks and Recreation, to submit building permits. So they have a lot of good data already in their system. So in this case, you can see there is debris. The guy is complaining about his neighbors doing construction and debris in the yard for months, and a construction vehicle is blocking the fire hydrant. So you can call in, again, put your notes here. Go ahead and click search the case types. We'll do the debris. We've got maintaining private property. Answer the questions. Neighbor hasn't been living here because they're doing construction. And I will put in the caller's, same as caller's location. Because we said there's a neighbor, so I'm gonna pull up the neighbor's house or the caller's house, and I can say, oh yeah, there's the neighbor right across the street. I can get his address. I can click and see the parcels. That's not jumping out at me right now. Pull this one maybe. Yeah, so you can get really clear lines of where property lines are, and then I can click the address. Right on the address. And then I would go back to the top and add another type for the abandoned or the parking. Got the new type. So it's blocking. And based on how they answer these questions, is blocking a fire hydrant. We can mark it as urgent, gets to the top of the list right away. Same as caller's location. Go ahead and click the same address. Submit. Now I can tell the customer I've created the 2 cases. And as it's saving, I'll get the summary page again. And one of the key things here is being able to say, yes, it's been assigned to the right person, to the right queue. Here, the people, they call them MCO, municipal control officers, will be investigating, making sure that vehicle is being moved, as well as the neighbors maintaining their yard, getting that construction debris. And we also have the SLA, which would be about 10 business days. So I can communicate to the caller right away that it's been assigned, it'll be taken care of within 10 days. If it's urgent, it'll be done quicker. And then we can get off. Caller can then log in, see the information in Experience Cloud, or call back and get status updates as well. And that's what we've been doing for 311 contact centers. Thank you for coming. I'll just pop up my last slide that has my contact information. Find us on LinkedIn. If you're interested in public sector, feel free to reach out. We are growing very quickly. We currently have projects in Toronto, York, Oakville, in Canada, in the US. We're working with Chicago, Port of Seattle, as well as several other cities throughout the US. So it's really exciting work. Thank you for coming.